Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. Prime Minister Andrej Plenković and his cabinet held a meeting late this afternoon to discuss what each ministry was doing to implement structural reforms. The meeting came after a recent report from the European Commission which stated that Croatia lacked the proper resolve in adopting the necessary changes. I would very much like to get 100% certainty from my ministers that the reforms we have planned are possible to implement. The worst-case scenario would be for them to set their goals so high they cannot realize them. That's something we need to put a stop to. In related news from earlier today, the Prime Minister and several of his top ministers, including Economy Minister Martina Dalic, opened a conference in Zagreb on the implementation of strategic reforms. Ministers and economic experts discussed ways how to lower business costs and improve the overall economic climate through improved regulations and a more efficient public administration.
This year, 2018, is the perfect time to implement what has perhaps been on the government's to-do list for some time now, and those are comprehensive structural reforms. Yesterday, I told the government that the magic trio of investments, structural reforms, and conservative fiscal policies are the keys to our economic success.
At the same time, there was no shortage of criticism aimed at the government for their sluggish pace at implementing such crucial reforms. President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović said he has warned of economic stagnation throughout her mandate, while the president of the Employers Association said high taxes and a bogged-down bureaucracy were hampering investments.
Our dissatisfaction is nothing new. We've been talking about it for years. And while the government keeps changing, the same problems keep dragging on. The consequences to the economy we've been warning about are getting more serious. Nobody in this country should be satisfied with our economic outlook because we're at the very bottom of the EU. And nobody should be surprised when the European Commission tells us it's because we failed to implement structural reforms.
Foreign and European Affairs Minister Marija Pejčinović-Burić received her Romanian counterpart, Teodor Meleșcanu, in Zagreb. The two praised their excellent bilateral relations and vowed to support each other on joining the Schengen border regime, the OECD, and adopting the euro single currency. With warm, spring-like temperatures upon us, many parts of the country are under severe flood alert as mountains of snow begin to melt. Karlovac County has been filling sandbags for the past few days in preparation as river levels have already begun to rise. The county's Civil Defense headquarters held a meeting earlier today, attended by the President and the Minister of Defense.
I sincerely hope that these security measures won't be necessary and that the water levels will not rise and cause devastating floods to this area. Meanwhile, we must be ready for the upcoming spring season and the heavy rains to come. And I'm very pleased to see that the situation here on the ground is being taken very seriously.
We have our military personnel on standby with the appropriate heavy machinery. If the city of Karlovac and Karlovac County decide that they need our help, the Croatian military will be there because we are an integral part of the Homeland Security apparatus.
According to the Croatian Bureau of Statistics, Croatia saw a year-on-year drop in industrial production of 0.4% in January 2018. This marks the third consecutive month of decline, a negative trend that hasn't been seen since the end of 2013. At the same time, the drop has slowed significantly. Industrial production dropped by 1.7% in November and by 2.5% during the final month of 2017. In regional news, Transport Minister Oleg Butković signed a memorandum of cooperation with Serbia on improving the rail links between the two countries. The minister also said the completion of the Pan-European Corridor, a highway system that passes through both countries, was vital for the prosperity of the region and the European Union as a whole.
We can do this if we work together. This way we will be stronger in preparing and implementing this project. Also, our experience at drawing EU funds will be of great use to Serbia. We are here to help, and we came to an agreement in this regard here today.
Taking a quick look at sports in tennis, Borna Coric is off to a solid start at the Masters 1000 Series tournament in Indian Wells, California. Coric disposed of American Donald Young in straight sets in less than 1 hour of play. Meanwhile, 39-year-old veteran Ivo Karlovic has dropped out of the tournament after losing in the first round. Marin Cilic, the tournament's second seed, received a first-round bye. In basketball, Ivica Skelin is no longer the coach of the Croatian national team. Skelin and the National Basketball Federation reached an agreement on his departure following the team's poor performance in qualifications for the World Championships. The team won only one of 4 games and are last in their group with only 2 games left. Croatia plays Italy on June 28th and Romania on July 1st. They need to win at least one of those games to move on to the next round of qualifications. The weather forecast for tomorrow calls for partly sunny skies in the first half of the day and increased cloud coverage in the afternoon. The northern Adriatic and higher elevations will see the most clouds, accompanied by rain in the late afternoon and into the evening. A southeasterly wind along the coast will gain strength from moderate to strong. Morning lows of 0 to 5 degrees inland and from 6 to 11 on the coast will give way to highs of 11 to 16 degrees Celsius. The weather in the interior for the next few days will be changeable, with isolated showers in places, especially on Sunday in mountainous regions. Moderate southeasterly and southwesterly winds will die down on Tuesday. Morning temperatures will steadily rise along with daytime highs, reaching up to 20 degrees Celsius in Slavonia on Sunday. Daytime highs on the coast will remain stable, while Sunday and Monday mornings will be noticeably warmer. A strong southeasterly wind on Monday will lose strength and come out of the southwest. Heavy rain showers are expected on Sunday along the northern Adriatic. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.